going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As you guys know, or if you've been with me, the last couple videos have been pulling that engine out of this truck. I'm laughing now, and it really sucks because we just got this thing running. My son's right here though. Other than a hurt ego and maybe a bruised hip, he is fine. But he hit a patch of ice last night coming home from work, coming down that hill up there, spun out over here, put the front end into the ditch, flipped him around, and this truck was on its side when we showed up. Now, like I said, he is fine. Police officer was kind enough to let me rig my truck up to the side of this thing, pull it back up on its wheels to kind of keep the oil and everything from going into the top end of the engine. But it was on its side long enough to where the truck is hydrolocked. So I'm hoping everything's okay. Right now, I've got a couple straps. We're gonna rig it up to my truck over there. And we're gonna try to get this thing pulled out of the ditch over here on flat ground, and see if we can't get the spark plugs out of it, get it cranked over, see if there's any other damage. So that's what I'm gonna do. Hopefully get it hooked up, get it pulled out with no problems. So I'll see you guys in a second. All right, so you guys saw we got it pulled out, did a quick little side view of it. Truck is not as bad as you would think. It actually took it a lot better than you thought. Let's just say it looked worse at night. But right now we got all the plugs out of the engine. Of course, this one right here, I believe, is the number 4 cylinder, is the one that had all the oil in it. The other ones had a little bit, but didn't have as much on the plug as number 4. So my son's in the truck right now. He's getting ready to crank it over. Now, because it was on its side and we're trying to get everything out of the cylinders, all the oil or what went in the cylinders out through the spark plug holes, what you kind of want to make sure you do, and what I've done already, is I unplugged the coil. If you can, unplug the coil so it's not sparking anything, and undo the fuel pump relay. That way the thing's not trying to squirt fuel down the cylinders while you're trying to pump, while you're turning it over, trying to push everything out. You don't want to flood it out with fuel. And if for any reason you can't do any of that, then and you can get a wrench or socket, turn it over by hand. Would probably be the next best solution. But since I'm able to undo the ignition system and the fuel pump relay, so none of that's working, got the spark plugs out. And we're gonna go ahead and crank it over and see if we can't get anything out of the cylinders. You ready in there, Jake? Yep. All right, start cranking it over. All right, go ahead and crank it over some more. Hold it. One more time. All right, so you can see that driver's side, that's the side the truck was on, definitely had a lot more oil in it than the other side did. The other side did have oil, but this side had a lot. Now, if you were to try and for whatever reason you got the truck to fire up with that amount of fluid in the cylinders, then it would definitely cause a whole lot of damage. You'd hydrolock it. And of course, we all know oil and water doesn't like to compress. Probably end up bending the rod. Now, the truck was tried to turn over, but it never fired last night. So I'm hoping that it just stopped. So But we're gonna go ahead and crank it over for a few more minutes and get the plugs back in and see if we can't get this thing to fire up. So be back in a second. All right, so if you guys saw, we managed to get it cranked over, got what we thought we could get most of the oil out of the cylinder. So plugs are put back in. I've gone ahead and plugged the coil back in and the fuel pump relay. So now we're just gonna have Jake crank it over, see if we can't get it to fire up, and see what happens. So go ahead, Jake. All right, well, you guys hear it. It's a runner. We managed to get everything out of the cylinders, crank it over. Engine doesn't sound to be too hurt, or doesn't sound hurt. Actually, I don't hear any weird noises. It is idling pretty smoothly right now, so we're gonna go ahead and let it run for a few more minutes, see if we can't get most of that smoke out of there, get it to calm down, and get back to the house. So again, see you guys here in a couple minutes. All right, well, we got it back home. Seth's out here. He helped us kind of clean up a little bit. There's Jake. He's just kind of walking over the whole truck, kind of figuring out what it is we need to get. It's got a little bit of smoke still coming out of the tailpipe, but it cleared up after about 15 minutes of running it. A couple little revs or whatever to help blow some of the oil and the smoke out of the exhaust. But this all happened about 2-3 miles away from home, so by the time we got there to here, it had pretty much all cleared up. Just a quick run around of the truck here. We are going to need a tail light. She's broken. The bed has got a big dent in the side. It is a little twisted up. This door, on the other hand, looks like nothing happened except for the grass on it. I don't think it has a dent on it, but it does need a mirror. Our front fender has got a dent in it. Bumper's a little pushed in, but other than that, the truck is in still pretty decent shape all in all. And really, if you think about it, it couldn't have been the perfect vehicle to have this happen to. We only paid $300 for the truck. It's been a great learning experience for my son. From the first time getting it running to doing the engine swap now. And then now we did our first recovery together. But anyways, one of the reasons I am doing this video is I want to remind you guys, if it's raining, snowing, cold, just drastic weather outside, be careful driving. Like I said, this is like 2-3 miles away from home, so it could happen at any time. Again, just be careful out there while you're driving. Always wear your seatbelt. Luckily, it's good. And the only thing that really happened with all this was the fact that we got a couple dents and maybe a little bit of a bruised ego, but everybody's good. We're all cool. So again, you guys, when you're out there, just be careful while you're driving. So now that we got this here, we do have to do kind of unload our tools, put things away, walk over the truck. But in this video right here, thank you guys for watching. Again, be careful out there while you're driving. If you are new and just tuning in, please hit that subscribe button for me. We got other projects coming up. Again, thank you guys for hanging out. Right? Yep. Thank you again. I'll catch you on the next one.